But it kind of ties into my mental health journey was during all of
Mhm.
this, I would say my mental health from the time I was like in high school down to college and med school and the working years just was doing this
Okay.
linearly going
Yeah.
downwards. And so by the time I finished medical school, I was well over 100 pounds overweight. I was extremely depressed. I was actually having like quite a bit of suicidal ideation, and I was kind of like in a spiritual crisis. I was in every sort of crisis, right? Mind, body, spirit, mental health, physical health,
Yeah.
spiritual, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
And so my decision to then pause, which ended up being me playing poker for a living for 7 years, that
Okay.
decision was rooted
Yeah.
in part not just in the disillusionment of the healthcare system, which when you're in a negative state, you're going to more easily like grasp onto the problems as opposed to how
Yes.
can I create solution,
Right.
but also in realizing that if I continued and I went into residency where I'd be expected to work like 60, 80-hour weeks, maybe more
Yes.
depending, that I probably like wouldn't honestly just be like blunt, wouldn't survive it. Like that
Mm.
if one way or another my health
Yeah.
was going to get me or I was going to get myself. So I
Mm.
stopped.
Oh yeah, good.
And yeah.
Right? It was a good thing. And
Yeah.
honestly, let me just stop you right there because what you're
Yeah.
talking, like my listeners, some of them are my clients, and I
Yeah.
do help
Awesome.
them through
I
this
love it.
because some of them have gone through their schooling and they're in their
Yeah.
first year of their work, right? So
Right.
say for example a nurse who now has gone through their first year and they're realizing so much stuff now, they're overwhelmed, but they have that
Yeah. It's
pressure
overwhelming.
because they spent the money that now,
Yes.
and they are trying to do the right thing to help the humans, that's the, that was their
Yeah.
passion.
That's
and
why we go into it.
and now they're in crisis, right? So
Yeah.
so there's people that are listening right now that has gone the same exact thing, Dr. Moscow, same exact thing. You've
You're
now
giving me goosebumps hearing that. I just like, I
okay,
just
so
love the way the
but
universe
but
works.
you made it through. You made it
Yeah.
through.
Oh,
So right
yeah.
now, for that
Yeah.
person that's going, no, no, I know what you're talking about. Now I'm in a crisis. Now I have parents. I don't know if this is what happened with you,
Right.
but I have like
Right.
people or parents or the bill of the school or
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, I
all
had
this.
300K of student loans. Like, there's no question to many people when they're in that amount of debt and they've gone through that
Yeah.
amount of years that the
Yeah.
only thing they're allowed to do is
Hmm.
continue the path.
Right.
I'm not going to tell people like don't ever continue the
Right.
path. We're all different. So many
Yes.
factors. Everyone's situation
Yes.
is different. But I will say in my case, making
Yes.
the bold decision
Hmm.
to go against all expectation
Yeah.
and trust my intuition,
Hmm.
like it saved my life, it changed my life, it bettered my life.